The Diamond Route is a partnership between the Oppenheimer family and the renowned De Beers mining house. This maximizes the potential of their properties for conservation as well as contributing to tangible social upliftment. And in doing so, encouraging you to experience the biodiversity and unique offerings at each enticing destination. The Venetia Limpopo Nature Reserve is a piece of old Africa, set in the Limpopo Valley, surrounded by rugged sandstone cliffs and huge ancient baobabs. This forms part of the Mapungubwe National Park, a site of southern Africa's first kingdom and filled with archaeological treasures. Over 400 bird species, including elusive Pel's fishing owl, call this home, and Venetia is well loved for its wildlife experience. Radio tracking with researchers for elephant, wild dogs, and lion increase the chance of seeing these sought-after species, as well as observing their lives. Within an hour's drive from Johannesburg, the Izimvelo Nature Reserve is over 10,000 hectares of rolly grassing hills and Bankenveld. Teeming with plains game, birds and butterflies, the reserve is also home to the endangered African rock python. The Wilge River meanders through the property, and the secret of rock art tells of the past. The reserve is a photographer's and hiker's dream. Brenthurst Estate has been the traditional home of the Oppenheimer family since 1922, and today Nicky and Strilly Oppenheimer call this urban wilderness home. Rated as one of the finest gardens in South Africa and one of the great gardens of the world, Brenthurst is inspired by its African surroundings. Filled with indigenous and endemic plants and completely organically sustained. Brenthurst lives in true harmony with nature, and today is haven for over 78 bird species and a variety of small mammals, rodents, frogs, reptiles, and a prolific insect life. The 12,000-hectare Dronfield Nature Reserve is situated on the outskirts of Kimberley. The reserve is steeped in history and has seen historical battles of early South Africa. Wagon tracks are still evident crossing the reserve and stem from the time of the Kimberley Diamond Rush. Today the reserve is home to some 140 bird species, including a breeding colony of white-backed vultures, often observed from the Graham Main Memorial Vulture Restaurant. Sharing the countryside with small mammals and plains game are white rhino, rowan and sable. The reserve overlooks the lesser flamingos of nearby Camphors Dam. Purchased by De Beers in 1891 for its diamond reserves and just 10 kilometers southeast of Kimberley in South Africa, the 11,000-hectare Benfontein Reserve is dedicated to the conservation of fauna and flora. An incredible nightlife and 260 bird species make this reserve a worthwhile visit. It is here that the founding herd of black wildebeest still roam, brought back by virtual extinction by the Oppenheimers and De Beers. One of the oldest conservation areas in southern Africa, the 40,000-hectare Rooipoort Nature Reserve dates back to 1893. The reserve was declared the 4th South African Natural Heritage Site in 1985. 65 kilometers west of Kimberley, Rooipoort has 32 kilometers of Vaal River frontage and over 5,000 rock etchings depicting our past. Stone Age tools litter the ground. The diaries of the historical shooting box are read at the fireside, and you can glimpse at the past history of the reserve, visited by a world royalty over time. Meaning New Beginning, Swalu lies at the foot of the Koronenberg Mountains in the Northern Cape province of South Africa. It is the largest privately owned reserve in South Africa, covering over 1,000 square kilometers. The reserve offers a unique opportunity to experience the sweeping Kalahari, crimson African sunsets, and the resident creatures. When the Oppenheimer family acquired Tswalu, their goal was to restore the Kalahari to its former self and to make this one of the premier wildlife destinations in Africa. Today, the conservation projects range from rare sable and roan antelope, butterflies, mole rats and wild dogs, to cheetah and the endangered desert black rhino, all under the watchful eye of the meerkats. On the wild and windswept west coast, just south of Port Nolloth, is Kleinzea. Aptly named the Coast of Diamonds, this beautiful stretch of country is carpeted by wildflowers in spring and often shrouded by mist in winter. It is a moody place where calm reigns and stillness prevails. And yet in an instant, the seas can turn violent and toss a ship on the shoreline. You watch from the old divers' cottages in Noop and wonder about the region. From the Kleinzea Museum, the history of the Coast of Diamonds unfolds. The Shipwreck Trail, a lonely cottage, the Molyneux Reserve, a seal colony with over 500,000 seals, the Strandveld Trail that goes into the ancient inland dunes, littered with artifacts from a time long past, to the incredible bird species that all call this home. Visit the Diamond Route and share in our cultures and history, our fauna, flora, as well as the incredible landscapes. Knowing all the while that if not protected and conserved for the future, these incredible biodiversities across South Africa could be lost forever. The Diamond Route, a journey of discovery for all.